this is the second part of the lecture, continuation of that. Then we come here, there are, okay, be sure to ask. That means you can get help from ChatGPT. And you can ask this, ChatGPT to come up with an idea, but please include your own ideas and incorporate into this. You don't want the chat GPT to do everything, because sometimes you create it, you don't read it, you don't learn anything. Therefore, the smart thing is that you customize it and you write good examples. Suppose, see how I told ChatGPT. Also, ask ChatGPT, try to challenge the AI, try to challenge ChatGPT to ask more questions. Suppose ChatGPT comes and gives you an answer, and this says this is your fixed cost, these are how many cars you have to sell. Then you can come back and say, okay, my dealers were, my salesmen were on fixed cost, they were asking for $300. Please show me that if these dealers, if these salespeople, I put them on commission instead of fixed cost of although the $300 also can be considered as a fixed cost, because for every car they get $300. If they don't sell, it is the same. That means that 300 just goes up as you sell more cars. However, if they are based on salary, then that is a fixed cost. Now say that if I decide to have my call salesperson by giving him or her $3,000 a month, calculate my break-even point. Then that is another calculation, and by doing so you are challenging the AI, you are challenging ChatGPT and seeing different numbers. Sometimes you want to have more fixed costs, sometimes you want to have less fixed costs. When you want to have more fixed costs, and when do you think there should be less fixed costs? In terms of dealership, if you are selling thousands of cars, if you are a good businessman, in that case, you would rather to give a fixed cost. Why? Because you give the salesperson one check of $5,000, and that's it. You are selling thousands of cars, and that salesperson is not cutting $300 or $1,000 on every car. You multiply 300 by $1,000 cars. That means that the salesperson gets $300,000. In that case, you like to have a fixed cost for the dealer, for the salesperson. But in some occasions, you want this to be a variable cost, the cost of the salesperson. Why? Because to pay $300 per car. When you are happy with paying that person a variable cost is when the business is slow. Because if you do not sell any cars, you pay zero to that person who is on commission. Therefore, as sales go up, then you can, the person can get, his or her commission. Therefore, when the businesses are slow, things are bad, your wish is that, you say, I wish it was, variable cost. But suddenly, if sales go up hugely, but also as a finance manager, you have to see why it is going up hugely. Is it just because the customers are coming in and buying this? Or if this is that salesperson is a very good salesperson, he or she is the one who is selling $1,000 cars for you. In that case, as a financial manager, you have to do the calculation. Is it better to go with the fixed cost? If suddenly you try to make it a fixed cost of $5,000, that dealer, salesperson might quit because they say, I am a good salesperson. I can sell $1,000 cars. I go and work for another dealer. Therefore, as a financial manager, you have to think about all scenarios to see what you can do to make the business profitable by looking at business costs, variable costs, fixed costs. You come here. Also ask ChatGPT. This is a very interesting one. We never talked about it. Imagine you don't understand the concept of fixed cost and variable cost. Imagine I didn't create this video, and then you will ask ChatGPT, ChatGPT, can you find some good videos for me regarding fixed costs and variable costs? That way I can watch and learn about it. You can also ask ChatGPT, these videos, I want them to be 15 minutes because it can go and find good videos for 15 minutes. Suddenly it might find a video for 10 hours and you don't want that. You are specifying, giving good prompt to ChatGPT. Another thing is that you don't want a junk video. You want a good video. How can you ask ChatGPT to find you a good video? Sometimes, just as a general rule, good videos are being watched by maybe 20, $30,000 people. If 30 or 50 or 100,000 people watch the 15-minute video, most likely that video is a good video. Why 10,000, 20, 100,000 people are watching it, compared with another video that only 5 people watched it. Maybe that 5 people who watched the video might not be a great. Therefore, sometimes I go and tell ChatGPT, please find, videos for me that are around 15 minutes and make sure thousands of people have watched it. And I can, narrow it down and say, please make sure it is from, a professor, or something. Therefore, I have done it. Therefore, you get, 10 points for this discussion. Students can get 2 more points because if they ask ChatGPT to create a table, which I will show you the table, and then if they manage to copy this table, which I did, and put it in, transfer it to Excel, and post it on another discussion board, which I will, show you how to do it. You can click here to see my table because I tried to copy my table and bring it here. It didn't bring. Let me show you. I will click eventually here, but for now, let me go and here. As mentioned, above link gives you a table that you can copy to Excel, download it to Excel. Please respond to the posting of one student, at least one student. Read the scenarios by students. You will learn. Some of these students, let me tell you, they use real scenario, which is a very good idea. Suppose in taxes that you posted last week, many students just used their own scenario, wanted to see how their taxes are. Many of the students also, let's say their parents might have some farm. They want to see what the variable costs and fixed costs are. And by doing so, not only you learn about your own business, you will learn about other people's businesses as well. And it helps with critical thinking and make it a real scenario. I have also included few videos recommended by ChatGPT that to explain to me what is break-even analysis. I already did break-even analysis in the terms of car dealership, and I said the car dealers has to sell 10 cars to break even. Watch the video and write also a brief summary of one of the videos, okay? And ChatGPT will find, a video for you, maybe 15 minutes. You have to watch that video and write a summary, open Microsoft Word and see what that person who is teaching you, type it in Microsoft Word and submit it to a submission box. Submission box is not a discussion board. You submit it there. That way it tells me that you have watched the video, you have learned what the person is talking, and you get another 10 points. That means you get this one also is just a mandatory. This video, submitting summary of a video that ChatGPT is going to find you for break-even point, and you watch it, you write a note that what the ChatGPT said, what that video said, explain what it is, and then you submit it, and you get another 10 points. The only, volunteer, the only thing that is not mandatory in this discussion and this submission is the Excel, which I will show you how it is. Let me show you how I put my ChatGPT. I went to ChatGPT and said, hello, ChatGPT, I am a business finance student and I want to learn more about fixed cost, variable cost, break even. And imagine ChatGPT that I want to go and open a store in Amazon to sell the West Virginia hats. Do you see? I want to sell some hats. I have put some logo of WVU on them, and I want to sell. I know students in West Virginia, everywhere across the state, want to go to WVU. They love to have these hats that on them, it is written WVU on it, and now I want to sell them on Amazon. And I am telling that the ChatGPT that I have to pay $4 for every hat to to a company that makes hats, that because I don't know how to make hats, they do it for me. I pay $4 for that, and I know that I can sell those hats to $12 for $12 online. I sell only one hat per customer. Just think about, each customer. I don't sell more than one. It's a high demand. I say, sorry, I cannot sell you more than one. Anyone comes. Just it is a scenario I am giving. But do not necessarily use my scenario that, I can sell only one car per customer. If you want, you can sell 100, 220 cars per customer. Doesn't matter. It's just my example. Please use your own example. Suppose, don't go there and change this hat and say, I want to sell shirt to WVU and each shirt is $4 or $5. If you do it, you're using my example. You have to use your own example, which look different than mine. That way you learn something new about your case and read what happens. And then the shipping cost is $300 for each hat. Therefore, if the shipping cost is $3, that shipping cost is also variable. This hat, which is $4, is variable because the more hats I sell, the more money I have to buy hats. The more hats I'll say, I have to pay $3 for every hat. Therefore, that's a variable. As I sell more hats, this variable cost go up. I also pay $100 per month for storage. This storage is fixed cost. It's just like a rent. My screen that last time gave me a hard time when I clicked here. In order to fix it, I clicked back. It brought me in here, and then I clicked here. I came back to my screen, and then I came and said that I have a fixed cost here. It is my storage. For you to have a fixed cost, you can come up with a lot of fixed costs. Can be a lot. For a restaurant, a fixed cost might be, the restaurant owner might hire a manager, or a restaurant owner might hire a bus person that pays fixed cost to that person. A restaurant owner might rent a car, might buy a car and, might rent a car and has to pay $200 every month. That's a fixed cost to the car rental company. And you will see, you can come up with a lot of fixed costs. You can come up with a lot of variable costs, and you are creating this good scenario. I want to see who are the students who can come up with a real good scenario and come up. And then after I said, if you transfer, I will show you how to post it on Excel. And then it creates, and here it is. And let's go. First, this is, ChatGPT. Here you go. Fixed cost. ChatGPT is trying to explain to you here what the variable costs and what the fixed costs are. Okay, it is trying to explain to me that the storage cost is fixed cost. Whether you sell 0 hat or 1,000 hats, this is ChatGPT is answering my question. And look at my screen again. Came back to here. I come here. I click here, and I come back here. And fixed cost vary. Now it is telling me variable cost. Variable. Do you remember I said each hat is costing $4, $3 for the shipping, and $1 was for another variable cost commission. Oh, I said I am hiring an employee to sell one car, one hat for me. For every hat that employee sells for me, I give that employee $1. Therefore, the total variable cost I have is $8. And the total, my total rent is $100. Do you remember I told you that I am selling these cars for these hats for $12? That means that the hat is costing me $8, and then I am selling it for $12. That means I have $4 for profit. But unfortunately, I have to use this for profit, $4 per hat, to cover this $100. I know that 4 times 25, if I divide 100 by 4, it gives me 25. The meaning of it is that I have to sell 25 hats because each hat is giving me $4 of profit. As soon as I sell 25 hats, I have made $100. That $100 covers my storage. Imagine I put all the hats in a storage. Therefore, that's my fixed cost. Therefore, 25 hats is selling 25 hats is my break-even point because I covered my fixed cost. Now my wish is to sell more than 25 hats. Any single hat that I sell beyond that, it gives me $4 additional. That doesn't go to the fixed cost here. It goes right into my pocket. Therefore, my wish is that this, and of course, when I sell more and more hats, this variable cost, go up significantly, but no problem. I don't have, because my fixed costs are already covered, and anything goes up, I like to see them to sell millions of hats. This will be, let's say, $8 million, but out of the, $8 million, but instead they have sold 12 million hats. Therefore, out of 8 million hats and 12 million hats, there are $4 million in my pocket. Out of $4 million, I only have to pay $100 here for the storage, and the rest of it, 3,900,000, 9,900 is what it comes in my pocket. Therefore, that is now Excel, ChatGPT is creating, a table for me. I asked ChatGPT intentionally to create a table for me. And also, do you remember I asked ChatGPT to find a video for me? When I clicked on the video, it didn't start. But I asked ChatGPT, please provide me the link, and it provided the link. I am going to find the link, I forgot. I can tell ChatGPT, find me the link for this. Therefore, when it creates this, when I click here, I don't know if it's going to open or not. If it opens, great. If not. And then this is the video that you wanted for 15 minutes. You watch this and you write, what this man talked about you. If you want your video to be 30 minutes and you want to watch it and write a note, that would be fine. 15 minutes, fine. But make sure it's a nice video. The voice is good. But the good thing, you got the help from ChatGPT to explain, find the videos for you to learn. Imagine I didn't make this lecture for you and you didn't understand the concept of, break-even points and variable costs and, those things. Therefore, you could ask ChatGPT to get a teacher for you and teach you, in other classes sometimes you go there and you don't understand the concept, or you want to solve some problems, you go there and ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT, I do not understand the concept of taxes. I already did my personal taxes. You'd help me, thank you. But provide me one video that explains to me what different taxes, head of the household, I don't know the, business taxes for S corporation. It was confusing. Then ChatGPT will find some good videos and ask them, I want a quality video. I want an educational explained by a good professor, and also voice to be good, sound to be good. And I want it only for less than 30 minutes, and I want $50,000, 50,000 people watch that video. But let's not forget, a good professor might put a good video that he or she created a day before. If that happened, it might be a great video, and very few have watched it because the video has not been on the YouTube for 20 years. It has been created a few days ago. For that reason, that video might have only seen by a few, good students, and it might be a great professor. That doesn't mean every video that you see with the low number of people who have watched the video is a bad video, is not a great video. These are something that you have to be able to judge and understand, how to, therefore, I am asking for ChatGPT to give some advice also. You may, I asked it, you may, it is telling me, ChatGPT, for my hat business with Amazon, monitor costs, keep eye on both fixed and variable expenses. Let's not forget these variable expenses. I like to have a lot of variable expenses. Do you see that? But at the same time, I want those expenses in terms of number of hats sold go up and up, become millions of hats. But the problem I have to watch is that company that charges me $4 per hat doesn't come back and say, oh, you are selling a lot of hats. I'm going to sell each hat, instead of $4 to you, I'm going to sell it for $7. Therefore, I have to be, as a finance manager, I have to watch that variable cost. Sometimes variable cost suddenly might create some other problems. Imagine that up to a certain point, my storage suddenly gets filled and I have to rent another storage next to it, but the storage next to it is not being rented for $100. The storage next to it comes and says, rent is $100,000 per storage. Then in that case, I see that, oh, the next storage is 100,000. I can't afford it. Therefore, I would say, I only sell 2,000 hats. I don't want to have more than that, because more than 2,000, I don't have rooms and I have to buy a rent for pay 100,000, which is not cost effective for me. Therefore, sometimes you watch these variable costs also. That's what ChatGPT. Optimize pricing. Consider if there is room for adjusting. Suddenly, if you have millions of customers buying your hat, then you come and say, why am I selling my hats for $12? It's the ChatGPT advice. Maybe jack up the price, It is pretty legal. $15. Why should I sell it for $12? Therefore, that is another one. Increase sales volume, which is good, because ChatGPT is you are selling 1 million. Find the way, go to social media advertising, find smart advertising to sell more. That way you make more money. Now, I talked to you about challenges for fixed costs. You remember I said that if, you pay $5,000 to the car dealer, the salesperson, and you don't sell anything, therefore it gives me a link also, examples of fixed costs, manufacturing with expensive equipment that can kill them. That can kill manufacturing with, fixed, because they have to pay rent, a mortgage for that fixed cost. If they don't sell what they have produced, they can run into problem, because every month they have to pay payment for that fixed cost, for example, to bank. If they don't sell as much that they have to, then the bank is going to foreclose on them. And high variable costs. Imagine that company creates hats, becomes smart on me, and says they are not going to make hats for me for $4 more. They are going to make it $9. If they make $9, I'm going to lose each. If I see that's the problem, then I go to another company to create, hat for me. Therefore, you said, find more detailed video. I'm telling ChatGPT, please find some videos for me to explain about, variable cost. It did find, but these videos are not linked. I could go to ChatGPT and say, what you created here is just a picture. It's not a link. Find me a link. It will find it for you, Here are, 3 examples. Then you take one of these good videos and write a summary in Microsoft Word and submit it not on the discussion board, or if you want to just put one version of it on the discussion board for other students learn to see how you summarized your video. That would be fine. Post it on the same discussion board, this discussion board, but what I as an attachment. But I want you to submit that to the submission box that I am going to create. That way I can give you 10 points for that. And as you said, I didn't see break-even points on the table. Please create. I was trying to force ChatGPT to create that. And also here, break-even formula. I don't know why the formula is not showing clearly. Let me make the screen a little bit less than 90% there to see if, it is, this formula is here. The meaning of it, do you remember? It is fixed cost. This $100 here is a fixed cost divided by, I sell my hats $12 minus minus the variable cost, which is 8, which means that is 12 minus 8 is 4. This $4 is the same that I said every hat I sell, I make $4 because I am selling it for $12. My variable cost is 8. I divide $100 by 4, means that every car, didn't I tell you every car is contributing $4 toward to cover my fixed cost? And do you remember I told you I have to sell 25 cars? Here it is. You take your fixed cost and selling price. The selling price of the hat was $12 and minus the variable cost. Variable cost was this $8. Where did this come from? Each hat I was paying, company was charging me $4 to make it. $3 I had to pay for shipping when people buy Amazon. $1 I had to pay commission to my employee who was selling it. Therefore, that became, when I subtracted it, it came $4 for profit in terms of each hat selling. But this profit is not in my pocket yet because I have to use this to cover my fixed costs. I divide my fixed cost by this 4, I get 25, which means if I sell 25 hats, this 25 multiplied by 4 is 100. That $100, that covers my fixed cost. Anything beyond 25 is profitable for me. 25 hats is my break-even point hat. Therefore, manufacturers always like to know about it, that how many they have to, create, how many they have to sell, and all those numbers. Now, I come back here again, and I come below here, and let's see. Here is the end of it. And therefore, it is even ChatGPT is telling me that you must sell 25 hats per month to break even. And this. Now, let me show you my how I transfer this information to Excel. This is ChatGPT that I asked all these questions. Look at here. If you look at here, this is the ChatGPT, and those are the videos. And hopefully, this is a good video. If I click here, this person is talking about fixed cost versus variable cost. Hopefully it is 15 minutes. And look at here, I had asked ChatGPT, next you will find the video under 10 minutes that over 30,000 people have viewed it. Therefore, this might be a good video for me to write a summary. After I watch it, I put in Microsoft Word, I typed what this man said, maybe it's 1 page, I submit it, I get 10 points for that as well. Then I come, and these are the advices that you already show you. The only thing that when I copied to copy and pasted, it didn't. You didn't see this table that ChatGPT has created. But when I copied and pasted, if you can provide the link of ChatGPT, I can see your table as well, because I asked ChatGPT intentionally to create this table. Do you this expand table? This expands the table for me. This downloads it. When you download it, that's when you are posting it on another discussion post I have created, and you get 2 bonus points. If you don't do this part, you don't lose any money. This is for students who want to get 2 extra points. And let me show you what it means in terms of hat. When I click here, it expands the table. And look at here. If I sell zero hat, my revenues, that means I don't have any money coming in, my variable cost is zero. Why? Because I sell zero hat, give zero commission to that person, and I pay zero for shipping to Amazon. However, my fixed cost, which the rent I am storage, is 100. Therefore, profit and loss, I lose $100. Imagine that if I get into this scenario, and that's called break-even analysis. Now, what happens if I sell 10 hats? The 10 hats, I sell them at $120 because each one of them is 12. My variable cost, $8 each one, $80. And my fixed cost, $100, Therefore, I subtract the total cost to me would be 180 because, and then here in this case, I lose $60. But what happens if I sell 30 hats? Do you remember our break-even point was 25? I wish I had asked ChatGPT, could you also in your table include my break-even point? In that case, it would have put a table here that would have written here, as how many hats I have to sell. It would have put, for example, 25. When I had put 25 here, rather than here is, do you see negative 60? Selling 10 hats, I lose $60. Selling 30 hats, I make $20. If I had asked to put the break-even number for me also, the ChatGPT would have put 25 here, and then it had put revenues, expenses, and here the number would have been zero. Do you see that? Try to have that one as well. And then I am going to transfer this one to Excel. And then after transfer it to Excel, I am going to, post it there for 2 bonus points. I can download it. Do you see here is download table? When I click here it is, HAL sales scenario, and I click here. And this is Excel, but I want you to look at here. Although it looks Excel, but it is not 100% Excel. This is called .cv type. It doesn't show in here, but I'll show you. File, save as, and I click this PC, and when I click this PC, let me save it on my desktop. Here it is desktop. If you look at here, do you see it is written .csv? CSV is similar. CSV means comma delimited. You click on Excel worksheet, you want to save it. Even if you submit that one, that I would accept it. But it's better to convert it. Financial managers usually like to work with Excel. I click on Excel. Do you see Excel? And then I click save. Now it is saved on my desktop. I go to the discussion board here, and I look for, let's see, here they show you where the other discussion board is. And I come, do you see here is written break-even analysis? I click here, and I click create new thread, and say here is my Excel break even, and then I click upload, and I click here, and I look for Excel break even or anything, here you go, Excel break even, and here it is, and I click upload, and I get 2 points for the, when I said upload, I should click post. I click post, says there is one error, what is that? The information, they found the information you submitted. Let's see, it wants me to put something. Hello, here is my Excel. And then I click post. And even if you want to post it, if you post it here, you get 2 extra points. And even if you want to post it on the in here, break even with your other documents, fine, but make sure to post it here. Let me see if I created a submission box For the video summary, let me create here while you are here. And I click here, I click new submission, and new submission, I would say video summary, and I am going to give you 10 points. Watch the video and submit, and watch the video and write a summary using Word. Oops, and submit here. Okay, and let me put outcome. That's okay. That's nothing. Okay, once you submit that here and it is hidden, let me make it available, and you submit your video here. I wish I had watched that video. I had written my summary there, and when you click here, you will see this assignment in here. Do you see video summary? Put this one, submit it here. You get 10 points for this, 10 points for break-even analysis, 10 points for video summary, and 2 points is a bonus. This bonus is voluntarily, and you have some assignments here as well. Go through this and see how it goes. You have a homework, and we want to make sure you learn about how to utilize and other things. If you have any questions, let me know.